Now, you said that you felt almost like an outsider, so you didn't have this at the same time that the characters in the book have this group.
Well, now I'm 47.
Now you do, but
Yeah.
you didn't. You didn't
No,
when you were
not growing up. No,
their
no.
age. What? Where did you get your influences for each of the characters? They're each very unique.
Yeah.
And they each have their own thing. So where did you draw on those character traits from people in your life?
I did. I drew from, there's one character who's a combination of my husband, two of his colleagues at work, and I suppose trends of the time kept influencing. There was another character who, I talk about disconnecting, but I am still dependent on all of our connections. So there was another character who, Jude, who I kept thinking, okay, what does Jude wear today? And what is Jude? And then I found someone on Facebook who I thought, he dresses just the same way that Jude dresses. And I'd kind of consult on Facebook with this person and see this person, an artist in London.
Did you consult with them, or did you just stalk them?
Well, he is a kind of a friend.
Okay.
He is but I love Facebook. I mean, we just open ourselves up so much on Facebook. I love that. For a writer, you can be such a voyeur without leaving your house.
Yeah.
You know?
I know, that's perfect.
Oh, I love it.
Perfect for
It's a
you.
great source. So I would go every day and look and see, okay, so what so-and-so wearing? He's wearing a cardigan, a great cardigan, which became a huge feature in Jude's personality. And then I gave the book to a mutual friend to read, and he said, you know, Jude reminds me of someone. And I was like, no shitting. So I drew on all of I think because it's such a contemporary book, I drew on the people around me and on the influences on music and on people around us.
Yeah, which character, I mean, I'm sure they all stayed with you, and every author I speak to, the characters are with them, living every single day with them. Which one really kind of resonated with you?
They all did. They really all did. All of them, the men and the women, they really did. Yeah, each and every single one had features and elements of their lives that resonated for me, and I think I hope that's why I could write them with some authenticity and truth. When I closed the book and wrote the last page, then I was like, get away from me.
Really?
Yeah, and I'm now what I'm writing opens in the 10th century Ethiopia, and it could not be less contemporary and less now than this, because I think I just had to get away from, I love these people, but I had to, 3 years with them was enough. You know, now I'm ready to get shot of them.
Yeah. You said it took 3 years to write the book. That seems quite long.
It did seem quite long. I feel like a very slow, deliberate learner. And I never want to take that long again.
Yeah. You've had 2 books. You read 2 books before this one.
Yeah.
Did those ones also take around the same amount of time to write?
I started writing about 10 years ago, so 3, 6, 9. I guess the first one probably took the longest because I was learning to write as I wrote it, and I was writing short stories as I went. And the second one was quick sticks.
Okay.
But this one was a very slow road.
But like I said before we started the interview, it was well worth it.
Thank you so much.
No
Thank
problem,
you. Thanks.
No problem. Now, what was the hardest part for you to write in this book, emotionally? I mean, we go through a lot of things while we're showing the pages. What was the hardest section to write?
I don't want to give it away. There were a couple. There's a bit with rhinos that was very difficult. The research was awful. I think we all think we know so much about the rhino poaching scene, and when you start researching it, it's just a million times worse than we think it is. It's a million times more corrupt and more revolting, and it just has got so much more bloody vulgarity and awfulness than we think it has. So that was horrible. The research was really awful and grim. And I saw an awful side of humanity that I always think I know, but I didn't. There's another part, which if you've read it, infidelity, which I've been married for 22 years, and because the male character had so much of my husband, I was like, am I writing this?
Yeah.
So that was horrible to write. And then there's a character who is suicidal, and an addict and a depressive, which, because I have bipolar disorder, was very close to home. And the daily dredge of being with these people is a constant. When it's not going well, then it's just shit.
There are a lot of ups and downs.
There are, but I guess the ups are what we stay in there for.
Did you know how it was going to end when you started writing it?
No, not a clue. I had a completely different end in mind.
What was it?
I thought,
I can't give away too much.
But I did think that I don't know, they're all protagonists, but I thought that the one character would end very differently. I thought that there would be a death. I predicted a death. And I'm very proud of that character because he fought with me, he fought with my pen, and he came through, he stayed alive. And I thought that the one character I thought she'd find a much stronger link with South Africa than she did. And the link didn't come from her. So what'll come out of your own pen? You know, these people have lives of their own.
It's so interesting that you bring that up, that the characters were actually fighting with you too.
You know, it's like my mother always used to say, you can't predict what'll come out of your own womb. And I think you can't predict what'll come out of your own pen. You know, these people have lives of their own.
It's so interesting that you bring that up, that the characters were actually fighting with you to tell their story, their unique story. And a lot of authors have maybe one strong character that's fighting with them. In your case, you had many. You must have felt like you had multiple personality disorder.
Absolutely, the cacophony in my brain. And I, like, have I any control? I probably have more control over my 3 10-year-olds than I do.
I can't imagine 3 10-year-olds and these people.
Yes, I think that's why I had to finish and get shot with it.
Now
because yes, absolutely. it was such pure fiction. And they were going to end this book the way that they
on a book now that's based in Ethiopia.
It opens in Ethiopia, and then it jumps to Kerala, India, and then it, so there was no predicting.
Now you mentioned you were working on a book now that's based in Ethiopia.
It opens in Ethiopia, and then it jumps to Kerala, India, and then it goes to Europe, and then it goes to 76 Soweto, and then it goes to futuristic Ethiopia.
You love jumping around, don't you?
It's a problem, huh? It really is a problem. What I can say is that I've lived in the same home, and as I say, I've been in the same marriage for 22 years. So what I jump around in fiction, I do in real life. I like to think I'm quite steady.
Okay, well, now we have that cleared up.
I think, yeah.
Can you give us a sneak peek as to what we can expect from the next one?
It's based on a Kabbalistic legend, and it's about a boy who's chosen to protect the chosen. It's the sneakiest peek I think I can. And it's such a convoluted plot to go into. It will be... it'll be quite protracted.
Well, I'm very excited.
Thank you. Good,
Thank you very much for coming in.
It's so lovely to talk to you. Thank you.
It was very lovely to speak with you as well.
Thank you.